Why do I never think to make a wedge in my house? Like Wes, I usually speak off the cuff, but I've been a little verklempt for about 3 months, so I wrote some notes here. First of all, I want to thank you for the honor. It was my first time as a bridesmaid, and so far I think it's gone pretty well. I've always been a little skeptical about the concept of the shert, this Jewish idea that things were meant to be. But I'm willing to be skeptical about my skepticism tonight because there's too many coincidences and miracles that have brought Michelle and Tracey, and by extension all of us, here together today. So I don't want to be glib about the possibility of a grander plan. Though we had met a few years earlier, Michelle and I really got to know each other in 2009 when she moved to Ann Arbor, and when she moved to Miami. I had moved from Ann Arbor. She took the job that I had vacated at Federation, and then she accidentally bought the house across the street from me. Later that year, and some of you know this story, Michelle and her mom joined my family and my then wife Susan's stepdad at our Seder. And as we were concluding Chad Gadya, Zeta said, the stepfather said, you know, my grandfather was a butcher. The butcher figures prominent in this song, Chad Gadya. And Michelle's mother said, oh, that's funny, my grandfather was also a butcher. And Zeta said, oh, wow, that's so interesting. Where was he a butcher? She said, Hungary. He said, that's amazing. My grandfather was also a butcher in Hungary. Where in Hungary? And she said, Ishkabitz, or wherever it was. And he said, oh my God, my grandfather was also in Ishkabitz. And all of a sudden, Zeta yells, oh my God, you're Honey, his second cousin who he hadn't seen in 50 years. No. So we actually are sort of related. Michelle has been my neighbor, my work wife, my confidant, my best friend. When I need an egg, or a power washer, or a pep talk, or a shoulder, or a contractor, or had I known how slippery these kippot were, I would have come and borrowed your staple gun. You were there. Early on, when Michelle and I were both again single, my father called me with a helpful suggestion. He said, what about the woman across the street, Michelle? Why don't you go out with her? I said, yeah, that was a really great idea. The problem is we have too much in common. But the real reason for me that we couldn't date was that you can't go out with your sister. And that's what you are to me. You're my sister. My big sister. But who's counting? Michelle lives her truth with a quiet but firm integrity. She doesn't care what's conventional, and she doesn't much care what you think. It's not that she's dismissive. She'll listen. But Michelle is going to make up her own mind. You are not going to talk this woman into or out of anything. She turns mountains into molehills. Her journey has had more than the average amount of bumps in the road. But adversity that would fell most mortals become blips when Michelle confronts them. Another example that smashes my shared skepticism. Joan, it's a miracle that you are here. And I will never forget the grit and the grace, the forgiveness and the redemption with which you confronted the discovery of your birth family. You are an inspiration. So we've established that Michelle is awesome, but as the good book says, it's not good for anyone to be alone. So the universe conspired once again. The fact that these two needles in separate haystacks found each other at all is remarkable. How remarkable, and with forgiveness from the folks who are at the shower, there are about 6.9 million people in the Tri-County area in South Florida. 700,000 of them are Jewish. Half of them are men. Eliminate them. So now we're down to 350,000. 10% of the country is gay. Now we're 35,000. About a third of Jews care enough to affiliate with a congregation. Now we're down to 12,000. According to the population study that Michelle guided, women between 40 and 55 years old make up 5% of the population. So now we're at 600 eligible women spread across 3 counties. But wait, only 16.5% of those are single, divorced, or separated. So in a sea of 6.6 million people across 6,137 square miles, Michelle and Tracey had a pool of 99 potential partners. Now that's before we account for personal proclivities. Maybe you don't want someone who's head to toe with tattoos. Or maybe you're looking for a native English speaker. So narrow it down even further than that. So is that going to deter Michelle or change her standards? Hell no. I think most of us know that they met on OkCupid. Michelle attacked that process with her usual thoroughness and just what she was looking for. I hacked into her computer and I found her profile. South Florida, college-educated, politically active, committed Jew, social justice Wonder Woman with multiple preteens, seeks same. Must love kale smoothies, Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, and the Indigo Girls. Religious school teacher, a plus. And presto, like Jennifer Aniston in that movie, along came Tracey. Ta-da! Tracey, you check every box. You have a passion for your family, for your friends, for your community, for your people. You're a leader. You stand up for what's right. No place for hate. You bring people together. You have a warmth that's practically visible. It radiates from you and touches anyone within a 50-foot radius. Your hugs are more than hugs. They're messages. You make everyone in your orbit feel grounded and welcome and important and valued and loved. You are a wonderful mom to 3 amazing boys, and now to 4 boys and a girl in the most remarkable blended family that I think anyone in this room has ever seen. What Michelle didn't write in her profile was, like in a sitcom, she comes with a neighbor who is a cross between Kramer and Lenny and Squiggy. He pops in unannounced, he shares your food, he makes off-color jokes. In time, you learn that he's harmless. But Tracey, you took me and my family into your heart immediately. And where I feared that I might lose a sister, instead I gained a sister-in-law. Okay, back to the couple. Their love was pretty much instant. Their first date lasted 3 hours, and on the second date they got so engrossed in conversation, they forgot to eat dinner. Though she said she never wanted to marry again, Tracey said she knew 7 months in that she wanted to spend the rest of her life with Michelle. It was an epiphany she had on a rainy day in Auschwitz. Hot. That is romance. But she knew she was a little impulsive, so she decided she would wait a while. Michelle and Tracey's is not a conventional love story, not yet anyway. Their path to this day took more than the usual twists and turns. Neither one of them has chosen the easy way. They've walked a road marked by courage and difficult decisions born of a conviction to live life out loud and with integrity. And that should inspire us all. Is there something that you want to do or need to do but are held back by fear? Take a look at these two. Draw all the inspiration that you need. A few weeks ago, I asked Tracey what she loves about Michelle, and among her many other virtues, Tracey said, "I love her silly side." You know her silly side, Jeff. I don't actually know her silly side. Silly isn't really a word that I use when I think of Michelle. You bring that out in her. You give her permission to let her hair down. Your boundless energy and public enthusiasm are the perfect yin to Michelle's yang. You complete her, and she completes you as well. Tracey told me that on a premarital compatibility test, she scored really high on idealistic distortion. She sees everything with rose-colored glasses. But this is why Michelle is so good for me, she said. She's grounded and practical, and it balances me so nicely. Tracey is the kite, and Michelle is the string. You keep her a few inches off the ground, and she keeps you from going. I was talking to Jacob Sullivan the other day about this toast, and he told me something he had heard at a wedding once, that often what you want, what you need, and what you wind up getting are three different things. But not so for the two of you. You each hit the trifecta. You are partners in the truest sense and a couple for the rest of us to aspire to. How lucky I am to have had a front row seat to this unfolding drama, this love story for the ages that has pierced my heart and renewed my faith. I look forward to watching the two of you soaring together for many, many years. So let's raise a glass and say together, Mazel Tov.
One more time, everybody. Jeff and Mark, very nicely said. We have about 25 minutes before our main course comes out. We're going to pick things up for everybody after this next song.